everybody, and welcome to the Absolutely Pickled podcast. I'm Pen.
And I'm Lee, without a pause. Let's go.
And we're finally working on the fact that we can actually introduce ourselves without it being awkward. We are so excited to have you. Lee, how are you doing, mate?
I'm well. It's a beautiful day. I'm sitting here chatting with one of my best mates. What could be wrong with the world?
What could be wrong in the world? Well, so we're going to dive right in. Where's Waldo, aka Where's Lee? Let's see, mate. Where have you just been this past weekend? I think it was Atlanta.
It was called the Atlanta Metro APP. Wasn't really Atlanta. It was Atlanta adjacent, Griffin.
I've
it's a
never
tournament,
been, by the way. So what's good about Atlanta?
It's another state in the country. It's another city of the state in Georgia, right? It's one of those things. This was the first year I think I've played this event that we didn't have a rain delay. So mad props to the weather for cooperating.
Now, was it at the same time of year as it has been previously, or was it just
that it's above my pay grade, but I believe so.
Okay.
It's an interesting place. It's in a park, and I tell you, it's the volunteers there are phenomenal. And I walk in and they're like, "Oh, we're so glad we're here. We saw your name and we volunteered." Now that goes a long way, and it's like I can't remember who I was talking to. And somebody asked to take a photo with me and stuff, and I was like, this is why I do this.
Yeah.
This is the reason why you come back and you go to places and you make memories, and you don't realize the impact you have on people.
I'll never forget, mate. And I'm going to just do a little anecdote here. I'll never forget when, and remember, and people don't know this, but I've known you since you were 16 years old.
Since the late 1900s.
Yes, and I was 20. Hard to believe, but I'm 4 years older than her. And I can remember us walking down to where the tournament was in El Segundo, and people running up to you and asking for your autograph and telling me that they'd seen you or they follow you on Instagram. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
You're like, I have stories about her and she's not that cool.
I'm like, so I now get it, but I didn't at the time. So I totally can completely understand people running up to you and wanting to talk to you and get your autograph, because I witnessed it and I was like blown away, and I'm like, oh my god, my mate's famous. I didn't even know. So there you go.
I wouldn't say famous though. It's just
infamous.
Yes, but it's one of those things, right? It's like, and you're the same. You want to treat people like they're special and like they're important, yes. and not be dismissive of somebody, And it's like, no matter what platform we have, and we're lucky to have a platform to be able to do this. So therefore, why not go the extra mile and make them feel important? Because it means it warms my heart too. It's not an ego thing at all.
Now, you know how you travel all over the country, and obviously you're based in Florida, I'm based in California, and we know those two are kind of major hubs of pickleball enthusiasm, particularly Florida. California, we just don't have enough flipping courts, but like there's a huge, because of the weather probably, and we can play outside and there's literally no weather. It's not even windy. In fact, what's funny, sidebar, and I find this in tennis as well, people go, oh my god, it's a bit of wind against. I'm like, wind? Have you ever played tennis in Norfolk? If you play tennis in Norfolk, you've no wind. But anyway,
I'm like, it's 12 miles an hour. I'm not playing today.
Exactly. In Atlanta, I again never been. So and every time you go somewhere different, I'm going to ask you this, like, is it indoor, outdoor? What are the nuances you have to encounter in Atlanta as opposed to Florida or California or whatever? Is it humid? I think it's humid, isn't it, in Atlanta?
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing outdoors, right, temperature, humidity, wind factor are always going to play a role. Altitude plays a role, right? If it's you're in Denver. Yeah. So those are always factors so you always want to get in a day or two early just to to get used to the courts, the ball, the environment, the backdrops, right? Everything changes. But if it's indoor, you're like, well, if you can't play in a controlled environment, you've got bigger issues than you care to admit, right? But no, it's fun. It's like planes, trains, and automobiles, and you're going from place to place, club to club, venue to venue, and it's fun to see how excited and addicted people are about pickleball. Not like way beyond the pro level, right? It's like at the grassroots, at all of that.
Well,
the pro level is what it is, but your everyday Joe playing and just having a blast, that to me is what pickleball is all about.
And that is what you and I talked about right from the get-go, is that we want to appeal to the masses, which is why, again, reminder, Lee, pro pickleball.
The masses or the masses without the M?
No, well, both.
Just removing one letter.
There's some, I would say, arses, as would you.
I would too, yeah.
Yeah. There's an R in there. But yeah, no, I mean, I think that's the point, is that there's a lot of podcasts out there that talk about what's going on in the pro world, but we need to talk to the people at grassroots level, like me, that just go, I just want to get better. And this is a forum for them to access you, which is going to lead very quickly and nicely onto the Dear AP section, which I have a couple of questions, again, as always, for you. And quite strategic are these questions, I will tell you. So be prepared. You better have your game on, Whitwell, because these are quite strategic. So should I just dive right in?
Yeah, dive in. The answer, you know what? You're going to get one or two answers. It's going to be a hit well answer or a shit well answer.
Oh, fuck.
There you go. Drum-bum, first F-bomb.
Oh my God.
Congratulations.
My mother's our
fearless leader is gonna have you.
Okay.
Nan, I'm sorry.
Well, in which case, it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the Dear AP section, which is our equivalent of Dear Abby, except Dear Absolutely Pickled. So Dear AP, question number 1, Lee Whitwell.
Got it.
Trevor from Boston, Massachusetts, which, by the way, I did go there, and I was there actually this time last year, and I loved it. I'd
love Boston.
A lot of history, English people, we like our history. It was amazing. Love Boston. Anyway, Trevor from Boston, Massachusetts says, if you throw up a lob, do you back up or hold your ground? The reason he's asking, he says, my partner never backs up and I can't cover when the ball is hit at his feet. So he's obviously more of an advanced player than your garden variety, I'm guessing, or not. He's thrown up a lob. I don't know if he's thrown up a lob from the baseline or from further up the court, but he's obviously in trouble. He's thrown up a lob and he thinks he should back up, but his partner doesn't. And he was wondering what your strategy is when you find yourself in the position where you have to throw up a lob. Can you help him? Trevor.
Yeah, Trevor. I think I met Trevor one time at a pub in Boston. So here's the thing. What kind of lob are you throwing up? Is it a shitty lob? If you're throwing up a shitty short lob, yes, you have to back up. The deeper the lob, it's going to be hard for them to find your feet just because of the net and where you're standing. Okay. So no, don't back up on a deep lob because the angle's not there.
Okay.
I mean, it's geometry. They can't find, your feet. The ground's going to be behind you when they're going to find the ground with the ball. It's going to be behind you. So technically, you should be able to block and volley that ball comfortably.
Okay.
If it's a deep lob. If it's a short lob, you're in trouble. So you should back up, right? So it all depends. It's lob dependent. But I think the bigger issue is just when we come across this all the time, is most players do not have ball recognition. They don't recognize when the ball can be attacked, if the ball's unattackable, where the ball is, where they should be, right? So ball recognition goes a long way. And the lob is the same thing. It's a short lob, back up, because they're going to find the ground very easily.
Okay.
Right? If I can come in and do this, if my weight's going forward versus my weight going back, that's a harder one to find, right?
Yeah.
And the further back, even if I scissor kick like my old tennis days and relive my youth and be like, oh man, I just jumped out of the gym and hit the crap out of this ball. Right. I'm still not going to find the ground because that ball the ground is going to be between the kitchen line and the baseline. So you should be able to volley that ball comfortably. Now, if you're afraid of pace and power, then you got a different story. But for the most part, the deeper the lob, stand your ground, the shorter the lob, back up.
That's a good answer. Now,
You know?
I'm just going to add a little caveat that I'm a bit of a suicide runner in tennis. And if I send up a lob, I go in and I want them to hit that overhead right at me. But that's because I'm supremely confident that I can cut it off at the volley level. Now,
yeah, but where's your lob? Your lob's not inside the service line in tennis.
No.
Exactly, that's what I mean. If it's inside of the kitchen line and I can reach in and hit the ball, you're in trouble. But if I'm moving back,
you
need to stand your ground.
So when you play, right? If I'm playing against you and I lob you and it's a decent lob, but you're gonna take it out of the air, you're not gonna let it drop.
Stand your ground.
No, wait, hold on. I know you're gonna take it out of the air, but it's a decent lob. Okay. Should I come in and try and anticipate you hitting it somewhere where I can cut it off? Or am I better off in pickleball staying back?
So a lot of it is you throw up the lob, I crack it, right? Whoever picks up that next ball, my partner's going to take my second shot, right?
Oh, okay.
I'm back there. I've scissor kicked. I've done some backflip maneuver, right? Cracked my overhead. My doubles partner is looking to pick off that next ball to give me time to get in.
Yeah.
Right?
But I forgot about your partner.
Yeah, there's two of us. Here's the problem. If you throw up a lob and I crack the ball at your partner, and your partner is like stupid and pops the ball up, then you can't really come in because you're going to get killed. So the further back you are, you're going to have a better chance of getting the ball. Like it's so situationally dependent.
Yeah, it's a tricky question.
It is. It's got to do on how good is your lob, how good is your opponent's IQ as to where they're going to hit the overhead. Are they going to hit to the open court? Are they going to hit to the, who are they hitting to?
Yeah.
Where's that ball going? What's their partner doing? And what is your partner doing when they block that lob? Or what are you doing when you block that lob? Like there's just so many variables.
But
bottom line is like just close your eyes and pray.
Trevor, close your eyes and pray, mate. But that was good. There's probably a lot of good tips you can take from that. All right, question number 2. Are you ready? This is one about strategy. No, you're not. Strategy when serving. Okay.
Get the ball in.
Yeah. Okay. So sounds like Jenny from Boise, Idaho.
Not from the block. Okay.
Not from the block. Well, she might live on a block in Boise, Idaho. It's probably more like a cul-de-sac, is my guess. But anyway.
No, there's blocks.
Are there? I don't know. Again, I think I have been to Boise, Idaho once because I used to work for DirecTV and we flew there and I was there, but I just went to a call center and I didn't see where people lived. So never mind. Sorry. Her question is to do with strategy when serving. And she said, I'm working on my serve and I now have some options. Should I've got a decent topspin serve. I've got a slice, which I throw in there occasionally, and I've seen people send a loopy one in there. But she says, I want to know from Lee if there's a better time to attack and a better time to play it safe. What is your strategy? Does it depend on who you're playing, score? What's Lee Whitwell's strategy when serving? Ooh, can't wait for the answer to this one.
I mean, it's so dependent. It's so situationally dependent. Sorry, Jenny from the block. It's good to throw in a variety of topspin, flat, slice, loopy. Obviously, the deeper the serve, the better.
Okay. You want to push across the board, the deeper the serve, the better.
Yeah, you're pushing your opponent back, so therefore, hopefully their return's not as deep. So then you get an easier third, right?
Okay.
Now, if your opponent is slightly limited in mobility.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do a low slidey serve to bring you in and make you lean forward and pop it up and have you off balance when I'm hitting the ball, right? Mm-hmm. So it's really dependent, but the bottom line is especially, I mean, if you're playing traditional scoring and you're a first server, right? Like if it's 10-9-1 do I want to play it safe and get the ball in, or do I want to go for a little bit more, knowing that technically my partner has the second serve? Right. So if it was 10-9-2, I'd be like, okay, I've got to get the ball in. I need to put something on it, but I'm maybe not going as big as if it was 10-9-1. At 10-9-1, I can go big. And then at 10-9-2, my partner's got to get the ball in.
Oh, interesting. Can I ask
like first serve, second serve.
Can I ask a follow-up question on that, please?
No, because you're not Jenny from the block.
Well, I'm Jenny from the block version 2.0. I just wondered, I've done this a couple of times, but it's not easy. And I don't even know if it's smart. In fact, it's probably not. But I've had people standing so far back that I'm like, okay, I'm just going to get it over the line.
Second F-bomb.
Yeah,
no, a short dribbly serve for them when they're so far back. I
never see many people do it. And is it stupid because it allows them to come in, and quick people are going to get it?
It depends on their mobility.
Yeah.
But it's also my thing to also too is like, if I give you the same serve every time, you're going to be able to get into a rhythm.
Okay.
I don't want you in a rhythm. But now if I crack a serve at your forehand and you miss it,
yeah,
rest assured, next time I serve at you, I'm giving you the same serve to see if it's a thing or not, right? Was it just a one-off miss, or can I make it a thing, and can I psychologically damage you a little bit there?
And do you vary as much the direction of the serve as to the pace or trajectory of the serve? Do you mix it up across the board just so they don't see the same thing twice?
Correct. And then if they're stacking, so they're outside stacking, right?
God.
So therefore,
okay,
if the other person's on the outside and you're returning the serve, I'm going to try to push you off the court to make that, to unwind that stack a bit problematic for you, right? So there is some strategy in the serve, but the bottom line is never give them the same serve twice, and just make it as problematic as you can for them.
Yes, that's smart. That's smart. We are going to do a whole episode on stacking because, good Lord, that is confusing. It's confusing enough to try and remember who's serving first, and then you throw that crap in there. And I've got a mate of mine, Brigitte, I love her. She's the best. She's left-handed. She knows how to stack. Well, you bloody lefties. This is why you lefties know how to stack more than us righties. I just go, just tell me where to stand. I don't know. But anyway, don't talk about it now because it's going to take a whole episode.
I'm going to give you a simple rule.
All right, go on then.
Pay attention to where you start on the court.
Easier said than done.
If you start on the right,
yes,
then anytime your score is even, that is where you should be. If you start on the
same old wristband thing, and it's like, if that would, okay. Well, I'm still working.
Easier said than done.
I'm still working on that. Still working on that.
Easier said than done.
All right. So brilliant. That's Dear AP covered very nice and succinctly. That's 2 questions. That's all we need for today. Here's the thing. Couple of things. We've got our fabulous special guest coming back for next episode. But before then, you and I talked about the fact that what could we do that's fun with our guests, right? And people
hide and seek, like hang up on them and be like, try to find me.
Yeah, there's
ignore call.
That's one thing we could do. The other thing we said that we both loved, and RIP James Lipton, but we used to both enjoy Inside the Actor Studio, which might be dating ourselves because the young people watching this might go, what are they talking about?
But here's the thing, it's like I would say our podcast is a nod to things of not yesteryear, but like Absolutely Pickled, Absolutely Fabulous, right?
Yes.
James Lipton, Inside the Actor Studio, where we're going back to a time where you could ask questions and people not be like, oh, I'm offended.
Right, okay. So we don't care if we offend you, first of all.
No, we understand that we're coming from a place of humor and love, and we don't mean to offend. And if we did offend you, please say, did you mean to offend? Because then we can say absolutely, or we could apologize.
And I'll apologize. Lee probably won't. But anyway, so we thought, you know how we just robbed Dear Abby from the magazines?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, Dear Abby, Absolutely Pickled, James Lipton inside the actor's studio. I mean, at some point we're
Also,
going to bring back whose line is it anyway? Scenes from that.
Yes,
you
but
know,
it's inside the actor's studio, so I thought we'd call it inside the AP studio. What do you think?
inside AP's kitchen. No, that sounds terrible.
No, inside the AP
AP studio. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. We'll come up with a whatever. But I thought, having established that we like that and that we're going to ask our special guests, but you are the star of the show, mate, I'm going to start with you. So you're not ready, but I'm going to ask you the inside the AP studio questionnaire. Are you ready?
No, but let's go for it. Winging it is better.
Okay. And you have just the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay.
I apologize if it's offensive.
This is going to be bad. This is going to be bad.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Lee Whitwell.
Yes.
Football player. What's your favorite word?
Fuck.
No surprises there.
I mean, it just covers everything.
Yeah, we don't have to explain it. You don't have to explain it. Least favorite word?
Help.
Oh, that's good. Okay. What is the noise that you love hearing the most?
My opponent's crying.
And I think I might know the answer to this, but what is the noise that you hate hearing the most?
Me crying? No. Somebody. I can't. I don't even know how to explain it. Like the fork on people's teeth.
Oh.
Like when their teeth touches the fork, it drives me nuts.
Oh, that's random. Okay.
That and slurping food. Like I will punch somebody.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, good to know if I ever have a meal with you anytime soon. Okay. This is James Lipton, because I think he was a bit of a perv, actually, but he asked a question. Sorry, no, but this question just kind of makes me kind of cringe a little bit, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What turns you on, Lee Whitwell?
Brains and humor.
Ooh. Well, then that's why you're friends with me. And what turns you off?
Crass humor.
Crass humor. Me too. Do you know what? I've been to some like comedy stores where and I know I'm a bit of a swearer, but every other word is F, and I'm like, it's not funny just because you throw
or if it has to be, everything has to be about sex, or everything has to be about something, and it's like there's one of my, I will say, sidebar, my new favorite comedian is Nate Bargatze.
Never heard of him.
I probably butchered his last name.
Okay.
But he is 100% clean comedy, and he just cracks me up, and it's about life, and I die laughing every time.
I'll check it out. Okay, next question. What profession, other than a pro pickleball player, would you like to attempt?
Can it be attempt or that I've done?
The question is attempt.
Yeah, so but it's our question.
No. Can't be what you've done. Can't be what you've done.
No, yeah.
No, can't be what you've done. It's what would you like to
attempt. It's our bloody podcast.
Fine. Don't answer the questions as they're asked then.
I'd like to be a Formula One race car driver.
And have you tried that?
No, I was going to say lifeguard because that was my favorite job. Thank you. So I'm not going to say lifeguard. I'm going to say Formula One driver. Okay, I like it.
What profession other than pickleball would you not like to attempt?
Skydiving or bungee jump.
Is that because you're older now? Because I used to think I'd jump out of a plane, and then I had children.
I have a colossal fear of heights.
I've acquired a colossal fear of heights. I never had one before, but now I do. Interesting.
No, I'm like colossally afraid of heights. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm good. And then it's like I have to trust the bungee to you. Like, how many uses has it had? Like, no, have you? Like, what if I lied about my weight? I guarantee I'm lying about my weight, so that thing is not going to hold me. Like, and tandem parachute is like, no, mister, I lied. This parachute is only good for like a 10-pound child and a puppy, not me.
I'm totally give 4imprint some love now, because there's an ad, one of their commercials, where they're like, are you 4imprint sure? And it's the guy that packs the parachute, and she goes, are you 4imprint sure? And he goes, and it's a great ad, because I'm like, yeah, I need to see it being packed before I put it on my back.
You don't need a parachute to skydive. You just need one to skydive.
Right. Okay, there's two more questions. You kind of covered this in the first question, which is favorite word. but I'm gonna ask you to be a little bit more creative now. What's your favorite curse word? Other than the obvious.
No, that one is it. It's my favorite. It's all time.
Not this
It
one.
covers the
Not this
gamut. Bollocks is good.
one? Okay.
It's a close second, but like fuck just covers every emotion, and it emphasizes everything in every way. You know, it's positive, negative, joyful, sad, you name it. It's
just
the blanket.
Across the gambit.
Yep.
Or the gamut. Sorry, not gambit.
The gamut.
Gamut. Okay, final question. Now, they have a whole heaven thing. We've talked about this. So if there was a higher power, because not everybody believes in God, right? But like some people believe in a higher power and whatever. If there's a higher power or whatever, what would you like to hear said power say when you arrive in the heaven scenarios at the pearly gates? Maybe this is just when you arrive, wherever you arrive.
What would I like to hear them say, or what would they say?
What would they say? Or what would you like them to say?
I mean, I'd like them to say welcome, like you are not, you know, the lowest grade to get in. But what they'd probably say is like, we need a better grading system if you were allowing you in. I mean, honestly, they're going to be like, oh, Lord.
Oh, my God, that's great.
Welcome to corruption.
So I think that is pretty cool. And I think we should ask every special guest that questionnaire. What do you think?
I do think that. And I think we need to ask them in different order so they can't memorize.
Oh, right. Okay. I think
we have to randomize it, because otherwise people will be like, oh, I know the answers and I'm going to prep.
Yep. Okay, so we're close to the end of the series. I just want to mention again, we're wearing our AP attire. And
this is something our 25 listeners scattered over 7 countries may not know, is that we love to have a laugh and we love to talk about pickleball and all things, but we actually do care about a few things.
We do.
I care about, I don't know, like food. But no, joking aside, there are some causes that we care about, and as we all know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it is a cause that we like to champion and be a part of, because one of the two of us had a massive chest infection.
Nasty. I call it my nasty chest infection.
Yeah.
But 8 years ago.
But still, it's a cause that's near and dear to our hearts because of what you've been going through, and you know, anything that we can do to help further things along and make a difference in the research world and in the lives of people who are suffering, that's what we'd love to do. So we do have a breast cancer awareness Absolutely Pickle shirt. I think it's lovely. I haven't seen it. I saw the mock-ups for it. I'm kidding, I've seen it. It's great.
It's really cool, and, actually. It's basically, just go to the website. It's really cool.
And every couple of months we're gonna have a cause that we're championing and come up with an Absolutely Pickle themed logo around the cause that we champion. And this month it's breast cancer awareness.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm gonna reiterate that any sales of the breast cancer awareness t-shirts, and there's one that's the women's performance tee like this, and then there's a men's just a plain white t-shirt because we wanted a cheaper version just that everybody could get on board. But 10% of the sales will go directly to breast cancer awareness. So that's what we're doing.
Oh, that's not what you said. You said it was going to our beer fund. I'm not plugging it anymore.
Anybody know? No.
No, I'm kidding. No, we will always gladly support.
Yeah. So I just thought that was important to say, because you know, we want to give back, and so we are selling these, and we're going to be doing for different charities, but obviously, yes, that one is close to my heart. And so those are up and available, and will be available throughout October, but beyond them probably, because you never know. I don't care when you buy. It doesn't have to be in October. It could be January. I don't care. Buy them for Christmas. It's all good. If you buy one and it's on our site, we will give 10% to breast cancer awareness, and we appreciate your support. So that was very kind of you to mention that. Thanks, mate. Appreciate you. Well, I think,
absolutely. I mean,
I think that's a wrap. Do you want to tease the fact that we've got a buddy coming back next week?
I mean, my favorite guest is back next week, and it's currently not a reflection of my play. but it's slowly sinking in. But no,
right.
Dr. Sai, our favorite in-house psychologist turned playwright, Dr. Sai is back with us next week in a do not miss episode. So please tune in, bookmark your calendars, you know, hollow out 30 minutes of your day, because
You
it's
might
going to
need,
change.
we can't shut him up actually. So sometimes we go a bit longer. So some of those episodes with Dr. Sai are longer than normal.
Episodes.
Because
Dr. Sai, they're episodes.
going and we sit there and go. So we just let him go. We let him talk for as long as he wants. We don't care. So anyway, Dr. Sai is back next episode. And so definitely tune in. And again, don't use any of his tips when you're playing Lee. Otherwise, you could get injured.
Or just run you over in the parking lot.
Exactly. All right, that is a wrap. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you listening in to us. I hope you enjoyed and got some fun out of this. And we will see you next time. It's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from her.
There you go. Goodbye.
Goodbye.